State Joseph Harman says that Cabinet has not ruled on the recommendations made by the Commission of Inquiry, specifically to provide compensation to the relatives of the 8 men that died. A COI was established to investigate the circumstances surrounding the killings of the men at Lindo Creek up the Berbice River in 2008. The 8 men, Cecil Arokiam, Dax Arokiam, Rance Drakes, Bunny Harry, Lancelot Lee, Compton Spears, Nigel Torres, and Clifton Wong, were mining for diamonds at the location when they met their gruesome deaths sometime between June 9th and June 10th. After the miners were slaughtered, their bodies and belongings were burnt. Minister Harman at the post-cabinet briefing said while not all of the recommendations proposed by the chairman of that COI, retired Justice Donald Trotman, can be implemented immediately for a number of reasons, those that targeted administrative changes have been put in place.
The Commission of Inquiry made several recommendations. Some of those recommendations are administrative in nature, and they have been acted upon at the level of the Guyana Police Force and the Guyana Defense Force. Some of them have pecuniary implications, and those matters are still to be acted upon. But I can say to you that when the commissions of inquiry sit, they make a huge amount of recommendations.
It was alleged by the owner of the mining camp, Leonard Arokiam, that the joint services were the ones that committed the gruesome act. The minister, however, explained that the recommendations put forward by the commission suggested some restructuring and reorganization to both the Guyana Police and Defense Force.
I believe there were some recommendations that looked to the restructuring and the reorganization of the way our Guyana Police Force and the Guyana Defense Force operated. As I said to you, there are some administrative arrangements which have been made to ensure that these operational matters are dealt with in a different way. And so the situation in which you can have police force members and Guyana Defense Force members going off on an exercise like that without clear guidelines, without clear orders from a superior authority, as came out in the Commission of Inquiry, certainly those are not things that can happen anymore because clear directions have been given in that regard.
The COI was set up by President David Grange in 2018, which saw a number of public hearings from relatives of the dead men and former and current members of the Joint Service, among others. Chairman retired Justice Donald Trotman had presented the recommendations from the inquiry last September to President David Granger. Among the recommendations in the report were monetary compensation for the relatives of the slain men. Retired Justice Trotman in his report recommended that 11 public officials be sanctioned at the level of the National Assembly over their failure to perform their duties before and after the killing of 8 miners in 2008, including former President Barra Jagdeo. Reporting for HGP Nightly News, I am Yanis Abrams.